Coming up in this Brightline construction update, this update looks at the progress around Bonaventure. Bonaventure is located near Viera and Rockledge in Brevard County, Florida. We'll start on February 26, 2022 at what will become the future Bonaventure South control point. As part of this control point, there will be a single crossover along the south end of the siding for the Bonaventure Industrial Area. The panel track that will be added to the Viera Boulevard crossing when it is rebuilt is staged on the left here, ready to go. Now looking south, the first number 24 turnout that will make up the crossover has been assembled and is ready to be slid over into the main line. A little farther along, a number 10 turnout for the Bonaventure Industrial siding was in the process of being assembled. A new D-rail for the siding had also been assembled. Part of the new second main line had been assembled as well. Once this first turnout for the crossover is installed, the second one to complete it will begin to be assembled. Now on March 6th, and that first number 24 turnout for the Bonaventure South crossover had been installed. Viera Boulevard had also been closed to begin the rebuild. The crossing rebuild was beginning with the relocation of the crossing protection. The cantilever on the east side had already been moved, and crews had demolished its old foundation. Here is that turnout in place for the crossover. Progress also continued on the number 10 turnout. Six days later, on March 12th, and the second track had been added to the Viera Boulevard crossing. A tamper was parked on the new crossing panel. Ties are laid south down to the existing Pineda siding, which will end up being incorporated into the second main line. The ties stop at a high-wide defect detector here, which will eventually need to be demolished to make way for the second main line. Here's a closer look at that number 10 turnout being assembled for the Bonaventure Industrial Area siding. The switch machine is being installed now so that it is ready to go when it is placed in the main line. Now on March 18th at the north end of Bonaventure near the Barnes Boulevard crossing, which was rebuilt earlier this year. Just south of here is where the Bonaventure North crossover will be, along with the north end of the Bonaventure siding. This turnout to the former AmeriGas siding will eventually need to be removed. Here's the first number 24 turnout for that crossover assembled and ready to be inserted into the main line. Crews were completing the final touches on the number 10 turnout for the Bonaventure siding. You'll notice ties are laid on either side of the main line as we head back north. This is where a cut and throw will occur to broaden the curve in this area. The end result will be that the main lines here will be a combination of old and new track. This intermediate signal by Barnes will eventually be removed. Now down by Anson Road on the same day, and rail had begun to be attached to the new main line. Track panels had been assembled for Carver Road's upcoming rebuild. Crews were beginning to clear the area north of the crossing, where a temporary crossing would be installed for use during the main crossing rebuild. Past this industrial siding is a short area that still needs additional sub-ballast dropped before track for the new extended Bonaventure siding can be built. South of Anson Road is a good look at what this whole area will eventually look like with 3 tracks. The following day, March 19th, saw the number 10 turnout inserted into the main line at the north end of the Bonaventure siding. Track equipment was also on site preparing it for trains that evening. Signal crews were at work on the switch machine. This is a good look south through all of Bonaventure. We'll now jump forward to April 4th and a freshly reopened Carver Road crossing. The crossing was upgraded to add 2 additional tracks, one for the second main line and one for the Bonaventure siding, in addition to the existing main line. Looking north, and you can see the temporary crossing that was installed during the rebuild. It would start to be demolished the following day. And here's a drive south past Bonaventure on US 1, starting just north of Carver Road. This is looking north from Manson Road. And looking south. This is where the Bonaventure South crossover will be. And this is where the current Pineda North siding turnout is that'll eventually be removed. We'll finish with a couple of Brightline qualification trains around the area, starting at the rebuilt Carver Road crossing. And passing under the high-wide defect detector near Viera Boulevard. This is the final time a Brightline train passed under it, as it was demolished the following day to make room for the second main line. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my social media pages.